Hi everyone and welcome to another video about the carnivore diet. I didn't know that I'd be doing this. It was a very spur of the moment situation idea that I had, but I just started to feel frumpy and like I was gaining weight. I hadn't really been tracking anything. Honestly, I'd been binging on food. Not like binging as in like eating a lot, it's just like the food I was eating just wasn't good and I could feel it. So I was like, "Do you know what? For a very short period of time, I'm just going to go carnivore and see what happens." So I started on a Wednesday just gone. Today is Saturday, and I'm going to do it until next Saturday. So I have some events coming up. I've got a holiday, I've got birthdays, all in the space of like 2 weeks. It's a mental time coming up. But I didn't want that to deter me from starting if I knew that it was only going to be a short-term thing. So I started carnivore. I just decided on the Tuesday I was going to start carnivore on the Wednesday, which I have. I'm not as strict as I was before. I'm still having coffee, still having tea, drinking milk with those, and I'm putting like seasonings on my steak and stuff like mixed herbs, which I did not do before. Before it was just salt and there was no coffee, no tea, nothing like that. It was only water, sparkling water, eggs, meat, fish. I didn't have that much fish, but fish and salt. That was all I was having. So, having said that, this is my third time trying carnivore. The first time I did it for about 6 weeks. Then I did it for, I don't know how long I did it for. I did it for a short, maybe a month or so. And then now it'll be approximately 10 days ish, like just under 2 weeks. And I'm definitely feeling so far. Today is the end of day 5. I'm feeling in myself way better. I feel like my body has acclimatized to it so much. I suppose doing it like 3 times in such a short period of time. I did like the first time the 1st of July last year. It's now the 26th of April. So in less than a year, this is my third time doing it. I feel like my body is just adjusting so well. I don't feel like the fatigue or anything like that, or the mad cravings or any of that sort of stuff. Like once I had set my mind on I'm doing it, then I was fine. I will say though, before that, like once I'm in it, I'm fine. But when I'm not in it, like it's just like I'm drowning in like wanting to eat loads of stuff. So I started my lowest weight, which would include like carnivore and stuff, was in November. I had hit like 67 point something kilo, and my goal weight was like 66. Like I was so close to reaching my goal weight, like life goal weight, and I broke. We went on a holiday to Portugal to see our house there, and I just ended up eating whatever, and then I couldn't recover. When I came back, the sugar was in me and that was it. So I was literally so close, 1 kilo from reaching my goal weight, and I didn't. And then on Wednesday, and it must have been like maybe Tuesday or so, I weighed myself and I was like 72.7 or 8. So to go from like 67 kilos to 72 kilos, like, did I say that from 67 to 72? Like my husband was like, you wouldn't know that you added like 5 kilos on, but like, and yeah, 5 kilos, I wouldn't know that it was 5 kilos, but I definitely did feel frumpy and stuff. But seeing the 72, like the high 72s as well, I was like, no, something needs to change now, because this isn't how I want it to be. So what I'm doing this time is I am weighing myself every single morning, rather than just like once a week or whatever, because it's a short-term thing. It's 10 days. I weighed myself the first day. Obviously it was the 72.7, I'm going to say. I dropped, I think, like half a kilo. I think it was like, let's say, I'm pretty sure it was something like 71.8 the next day. And then it was something along the lines of, I actually can't remember, but I remember it was something like I lost like half a kilo, and then I lost another half a kilo, and then I woke up this morning and I had lost like a full kilo, something along those lines. But I've lost 2 kilos in 4 days, which is insane. I just think that that's mad. Yeah, I don't know. Like, is 2 kilos a lot? Maybe, maybe not. Like, is it all water weight and bloating and stuff? Maybe. But still, it's like, to me, I'm like, right, if I really wanted to or needed to lose a little bit of weight quickly, this is a way to do it. It just makes so much more sense. Like, just people killing themselves to lose a couple of like kilo or pound or whatever. So for anyone who doesn't know, like 2 kilos is like 4 pounds. Like that's nearly half a stone. Do you know what I mean? In 4 days. I'm so curious. I'm so curious to know what I'll be tomorrow morning. I'm so curious to know what I'll be when I finish it. So I will do a full day up until next Friday. And then on Saturday, I'll just have, oh, another thing, I was going to say I'm going to have my breakfast, which I will have on Saturday. But another thing I have been doing this time around is I've been trying to reduce the number of meals I'm having, or not so much the number of meals, but like my time. So I'm trying to like push out my breakfast as much as possible. So that's varied, but I think like the earliest I had breakfast was like maybe 12 noon in the last few days. That's not to say I'm not eating as much. Like most of the days I'm still having like 3 meals. It could be like my breakfast, which would be rashers, like bacon rashers, sausages and eggs. And then like a couple of hours later, 3 hours later, I could have like the guts of 4 chicken burgers, just the patties. I'd be sharing some of this with my kids and stuff, but like the guts of 4 chicken patties, and then a few hours later I'll be having like a steak with eggs or something for my dinner, and then that would be it. So I'm still eating like 3 times a day for the most part. The last day or two, like today and yesterday, it's actually just been 2 meals a day, which is interesting because I've never been a 2 meal a day kind of person, but I'm really interested. So yeah, Saturday I'll wake up, next Saturday, today's Saturday, so next Saturday, wake up in the morning, weigh myself like usual, and then I will probably eat an earlier breakfast because I need to be out the door then. I've got a business event on the Saturday, and that's including a hot lunch. So I'm going to have my hot lunch there. And then when I come home, I'll probably still have like a carnivore dinner. Sunday morning, wake up, and I've got a different business event on that day, and that includes breakfast and lunch. So I need to find out what the situation is with the breakfast for that. But eat whatever is there for the breakfast, for the lunch, because they're networking events and stuff like that as well. So they're good occasions to kind of sit and chat to people. And then on the Monday we're going to Disneyland Paris. So like there's no rules in Disneyland. We come home on the Thursday. Friday it's my mother-in-law's birthday, so there'll be cake. And then on the Sunday it's my baby's 1 year birthday. So obviously there'll be cake and bits at that. And then maybe after her birthday I'll have another like small juncture of time where I don't eat. But yeah, it's really, like, honestly, I didn't even know I was going to make this video. I'm just a bit mind blown that like it just the realization, like I know you do lose a lot of weight at the start and stuff, but I suppose because previous I had kind of like longer term goals of doing carnivore, I just kind of took it, but I was always thinking like, oh well, I wonder what it'll be in like 6 weeks time or whatever. Whereas now, because it's only like a 10-day stint of doing carnivore, it's really making me think that like in the short term going forward, for whatever reason, you know, if I wanted to lose a bit of weight in a short period of time, I could just do this. And like, even if it's just a water weight, like if I can shed that for a short term thing, great, you know. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. We had like lovely roasted chicken, well, in the air fryer, loads of salt, and then some oregano or oregano if you're in America. Oregano, which was really nice because normally we just have salt. For my late lunch / breakfast, again, I had 1 steak and 3 fried eggs fried, and I had like mixed herbs on the steak and salt and pepper. And it's been really delicious. I've been really enjoying it. I'm satiated, not getting cravings. It was just Easter, so our house is full to the brim with Easter egg and chocolate and all the stuff. And that's actually one more thing before I log off. That's a really interesting thing about me, is I have not wanted to do carnivore for a while, and it wasn't until the house was full of chocolate that I was like, right, I'm going to do it. And what I've really learned about myself is I have to be all in, particularly at the start. I need to really, really, really set like a really strong precedent at the start, or I won't stick to something. Like, it has to be really strict and regimented at the start, or like it's just not. And I'm not a moderation person. I can't just be dipping into little things. Like, I'm a very all or nothing thing, particularly when it comes to food. But I think just in general, like creating habits and doing stuff, like I'm either all in or I'm just not. Like, it's just not going to last. And also, in terms of the house being full of chocolate, I've learned that I'm a glutton for punishment and I love a challenge. And I think the fact that the house is full of chocolate kind of spurred me on actually to do carnivore, because I was like, oh, there's going to be so much temptation around and I'm just going to do it, like, which is probably the opposite of what other people think, and be like getting rid of all the temptation. Whereas for me, it actually spurs me on to be like, no, I'm not going to eat any of that, There are definitely 1 or 2 bits that I'm like, save that for me for when I'm finished. But because it's all there, I'm actually happy enough not to eat it, which is funny. I think that's strange and funny. Anyways, I'm going to go now. I will do another video at some point in the coming week, or at the end, and just see where we finish up. But I'm currently sitting at 70.8 is what I was this morning, or 70.7, something like that. So I'm really close to hitting the 60s, which is wild. I just think it's wild. Like, I was really close to hitting 73 and now I'm really close to hitting the 60s. I don't think I'll wake up tomorrow in the 60s. I think I'll wake up tomorrow in the low 70s, but really close. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.